role-playing games. Probably my all-time favorite genre of video games. Whether it's the immense gameplay story, the level grinding, the cool characters, the magic, role-playing games are just incredible, and I love them. But that wasn't always the case. On this episode of Video Game Nostalgia, we're going to talk about what system got you into role-playing games.
Goodbye.
For anybody that's been following me for a while, you'll know that I wasn't an early adopter to RPGs. Going back to a very early episode of Video Game Nostalgia, talking about games you get lost in, I brought up one of the earliest RPGs I actually owned. In fact, it was my third Nintendo game I ever got, and that's Dragon Warrior. But I had a big problem with Dragon Warrior. I never knew where to go. That's right, I was that guy. I didn't understand how to play Dragon Warrior. I just roam around outside the first castle and the first village for hour after hour, trying to level up, but never leveling up because my character just kept dying, so I wasn't gaining any experience. And it really soured me, and it turned me off from role-playing games in general. So much so that when the next generation came around on the Super Nintendo, I avoided them. I didn't play any role-playing games, except for one. There was one role-playing game, which is the joke of the role-playing game community, because it's an Americanized RPG made for North Americans who didn't understand how to play role-playing games. That's Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Well, Mystic Quest was exactly what they intended it to be. Mystic Quest is a very simplistic RPG. So much so that anybody could play this. You don't even have to understand the basic concepts of role-playing games to be able to finish this game. And trust me, I proved that, because I managed to get through Mystic Quest without still understanding the basic concepts of role-playing games. But I really like Mystic Quest, so I got a taste. I got a little taste of Final Fantasy. Maybe this is something I could enjoy. But it still never drew me enough to actually go out and play one of the other Final Fantasy games on the system, or any role-playing games in general, which is a real shame because there's so many great RPGs on the Super Nintendo that I know now. But then fast forward, the Nintendo 64 comes out, and, well, there's not really any RPGs on the N64. But at the same time the N64 came out, another system came out, called the Sony Playstation. But when the Sony Playstation came out, it was super expensive, and there was nothing that really pulled me away. I mean, I've been a Nintendo fanboy all my life, outside of, you know, my love of the Sega systems, and the little bit of dabbling I did there. I've always been core to Nintendo. That was until one of Nintendo's greatest franchises, something I had a little wedding for, was going to come out on the Sony Playstation. And I saw this commercial.
An evil empire is sucking the life force from the planet, destroying all that's in its path. It's up to one soldier of fortune to save the world. If he succeeds, you survive. If he fails, you can always hit the reset button. Final Fantasy VII.
I was floored. I was floored. That was the coolest thing I had ever seen in my entire life. Like, I had owned my N64 for almost 2 years at this point, and I liked the N64, but it never really felt like the next step. I mean, this was the next step. I mean, seeing the CGI cutscenes, or I forget what they're called, FMVs, from Final Fantasy VII put together in that movie trailer package for the commercial just blew me away. I had to play this game. So that year, for my birthday, I got a Sony Playstation, and my brother, who's a really cool guy, actually went out and bought Final Fantasy VII for us. Final Fantasy VII was everything I thought it was going to be. You start out immediately with this beautiful landscape. The characters are amazing, very easy to follow. It's got a very cool storyline that gripped me right from day one. I mean, you are not doing any of the conventional things that you did in a role-playing game. I mean, this isn't your classic knights and warriors that we see in games like Dragon Warrior. I mean, this had a modern feel to it. It really captured, I guess, the era of the 1990s, and everybody was into this. I mean, it wasn't just me. There were other people that I played hockey with, I played basketball with, guys that typically never played role-playing games, and we were coming to school, and we were talking about Final Fantasy VII, so they did their job. Final Fantasy VII was incredible. But after I finished Final Fantasy VII, I found myself wanting more. I wanted to play more role-playing games. Then, something happened to me.
I got your picture. I'd like a million of you over myself. I want a doctor to take a picture so I can look at you from inside as well. You got me turning up and turning down, I'm turning in, I'm turning right, I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. No sex, no drugs, no wine, no women, no fun, no sin, no you, no wonder it's dark. Everyone around me is a total stranger. Everyone avoids me like a cyclone ranger. Everyone. That's why I'm turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so.
So that's it, guys. The Sony Playstation is the system responsible for turning me into the role-playing game enthusiast I am today. You know, I didn't stop at the PlayStation. I went on, I bought games for the PlayStation 2, moved on from there, I bought games for the Xbox 360, which actually is a pretty awesome system for RPGs. And then, of course, there were some great RPGs on the PlayStation 3 as well. There were some great re-releases on the DS, and I'm still playing a great original turn-based JRPG game, Bravely Default, today. I know that, you know, role-playing games have kind of moved away from it, but I'm hoping that this buzz that Bravely Default caused will produce more games of this nature coming from the developers. RPG is not a dead eric, guys. Start making some more. Anyways, guys, I want to find out what system got you into role-playing games? Were you like me and a late adopter and never got into role-playing games until the PlayStation? Or were you there from day one on the NES? I know that's not day one for everybody, but that's day one for me. So were you there from the early stages, maybe Final Fantasy on the NES? Maybe you were a Sega Master System enthusiast and you played Phantasy Star. Guys, I want you to let me know. So feel free to leave a comment down below, or if you want, you can make your own video and link it in the comments, but definitely send it to me on my Facebook page as well. Make sure I see it. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. This is MichaelBtheGameGenie, and I'll talk to you next time. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so. Do 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 do.